This is the guided note video for horizontal and vertical lines. So if we take a look at the learning target, I can graph horizontal and vertical lines. Before we start graphing lines in slope-intercept, standard, and point-slope form, let's learn about two special cases we'll be faced with. Though horizontal and vertical lines are not too challenging to graph, many students struggle to graph them from year to year. By learning what the equation of a horizontal or vertical line is asking, we will be experts at graphing by the end of these notes. So let's start with horizontal lines. So horizontal lines are always in slope-intercept form. Where the slope is 0, and we are only given the y-intercept. Because of this, the equation of a horizontal line will always look like y equals some number. Okay? So let's jump right into the example. Okay? Pause the video if you need more time. So we are given y equals 4. So as I just said, we have y equals some number. Okay? Our slope is 0 because remember, our slope is always the coefficient of our x. So if we have no x, that means we have 0 times x, so our slope is just 0. So in order to graph this, let's make a table of values. So a table of values is just a chart of numbers that represents ordered pairs by row. Okay? So, first off, let's plug in some values for x. Okay, so I'm looking for values of x on the x-axis here. So let's plug in -8, -2, 0, 1, and 5. Okay? And these were completely random. Okay? I could have picked anything. Okay? What this is saying right here is no matter what my x coordinate is, y is always going to be 4. Y equals 4 always. So that means when x is -8, y is going to be 4. When x is -2, y is going to be 4. Same for 0. Same for 1. And same for 5. So these right here are just ordered pairs. Okay? So I'll plot the point, -8, 4. So I go over to -8, and I'll go up 4. And I'll make a point. -2, 4. So I'll go over to -2 on the x, and up 4 on the y. 0, 4. So start at 0, go up to 4. 1, 4. And my last point is 5, 4. So I'll go over 5 and up 4. Okay? So as we can see, no matter what value x has, y will always be 4. So our last step, we're just going to connect the points to create our line. Okay, so using a straight edge. I've got my line. Add some arrows to finish it off. There we are. So whenever we have y equals some number, we know we're going to have a horizontal line going through the number that is given. Pause the video if you need more time. So let's do vertical lines now. Vertical lines are always in standard form, because the x is by itself and we have no y. Okay? Because of this, the equation of a vertical line will always look like x equals some number. Okay? Pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to scroll down to take a look at the full example. Okay, so just like I did for horizontal lines, I'll make a table of values, but instead of my y column all being the same number, my x column will all be -6. Because what my equation reads is x equals -6. So our x coordinate will always be -6. Okay, and from there I can plug in random values for y. So my graph goes from -10 to 10. So I'll plug in, let's try -10. We can do -7. We can do -1. And we can do 4. And we can do 9. Again, this y column, completely random. So now I'm just going to graph all these points. So for my first ordered pair, I've got -6, -10. So I'll go over to -6, and I'll go down to -10. For my next one, I'll go over to -6, and I'll go down to -7. Next one, I'll go over to -6, down to -1. For my fourth ordered pair here, I'll go to -6, and I'll go up 4. For my last point in my table of values, I'll go over to -6, and I'll go up 9. So as we can see, no matter what value y has, x will always be -6. Now we can just connect the points to create our line. I'll start down here, make sure you're using a straight edge. And there we have it, a vertical line. To make it authentic, I will put my arrows on both sides. Okay. At this time, I recommend moving on to the example video for horizontal and vertical lines.